For James Monroe High School's Tom Porton, the craft of teaching goes far beyond standing in front of a class. Oh, as an English teacher, he's been in front of many classes since he came to Monroe in 1968. But it's the worlds that he's opened up for his students that have taken this short, bearded man from the Bronx all the way to Emporia, Kansas, as the first New York City teacher selected for the 4-year-old National Teachers Hall of Fame.
I would have been just one of those kids that sat in the corner and never did anything, just worried about my schoolwork. But Mr. Porton is like, when I'm here with him, I'm outgoing. I go, you know, I do things, you know, and I'm always involved in school activities.
When I came to the school, I really didn't have a high self-esteem. Like, my father just died, and I was going through a lot of things at my home. And then I met him, and my life changed because he introduced me to so many different things.
Tom is so special. The theme of our school, if you will, is James Monroe High School, where dreams become reality, and Tom is one of the reasons why youngsters' dreams are realized.
There were some people at Monroe who told me, don't go there, you're going to be weighing over your head. And Tom Porton said, that's great, you know, why not Harvard?
If you want to follow Tom Porton around during a school day at Monroe, you'd better bring your track shoes. For one, the phone never stops ringing in his crowded, noisy 5th-floor office, which is usually bustling with activity. On this day, it's Baskets of Love, which are toiletries and candies sent to hundreds of AIDS patients throughout New York City hospitals. And along with the goods, which sadly are luxury items for many terminal AIDS patients, Tom's HIV/AIDS peer education students teach other Monrovians about AIDS and inspire them to write personalized letters of encouragement that are included in each basket of love. By the way, under Tom's guidance, this award-winning AIDS peer education group has brought AIDS prevention information to Bronx street corners and has commandeered all of the city's high schools in annual AIDS awareness conferences. So with Baskets of Love production in full swing, Tom is off to the next project. He hauls the TV roll-around to the first-floor auditorium, where he helps set up the special educational dramatic production that he's arranged for Monroe students on this day. And then, on his way back upstairs, Tom pauses to advise a colleague. And then, it's a few moments to work on the scenery for the school's upcoming production of a modern Cinderella play that Tom and his students have written. In a flash, Tom is off to check on how his AIDS peer education students are doing in the classroom. And then, it's back to the auditorium to get the day's performance underway. And then on the way back to the office, when the elevator operator has taken an early lunch break, of course, it's Tom Porton, who happens to have the right key and gets the show on the road.
Tom Porton has been the heart and soul of Monroe for the last 25 years. The interest he puts into his children is so unique that I have never found anybody else who has such a commitment to the kids and to everything that goes on about the school.
Just stepping into his shoes for 2 days, I was exhausted. So I don't know how he does it.
Tom Porton was an English major at New York University, where he also got his master's. Selected as Monroe High School's first coordinator of student affairs when the concept was established by the Board of Ed in 1971, Tom boasts of having created the city's first ever high school street fair, which cleaned up a drug-infested alleyway near the school. But aside from the years of teaching students to work for their communities, which has catapulted students like Sophia Quintero to important careers as public service executives, Tom has turned youngsters' lives around, sometimes by saving them.
I remember one young lady whose name I won't mention on camera, in 1975, who, during a rehearsal of one of my shows, climbed up on the catwalk backstage and threatened to jump off because she was so depressed. And for an hour, I was trying to talk her down. And today, she's a lawyer.
When I was just depressed at any given time, he would be there in my sad times. He would be there in my happy times. You know, we would laugh together. Or when I'm sad, he would help me or console me or get into contact with my mother or whatever. But whatever he had to do, he'll do it to make me happy.
He makes students independent. He showcases their talents. He brings success to them. He's just the best.
He will go 100 miles not 9 yards, to do anything he can so that a youngster reaches his or her potential. He is truly the quintessential person as well as educator. I love Tom Porton.
Congratulations to Tom Porton for being named into the National Teachers Hall of Fame. No one deserves it more than you.
We love you, Mr. Porton.
From James Monroe High School, Gary Axelbank for BXNY.